This is an '09 Volkswagen Routan with a '09 Town & Country 3.8 engine. Everything else is Routan. And I just did the exhaust with the piece that I ordered from Amazon. The exhaust piece that you can find on there was $149. And the tools you're going to need a drill with some drill bits if you don't have the right size bolts, because on the reviews the guys give the size bolts you're going to need, so follow those reviews, because I read it and then I didn't even buy the bolts. Silly. So I ended up having to drill out. Luckily I had 2 bolts laying around, and then I had a drill bit that I drilled out the top 2 on my flange, because the lower 2 on my flange I didn't want to drill because they were pretty rough looking. You're going to need a sawzall to cut your exhaust. You're going to need a drill if you don't have the right size bolts. You're going to need a good jack, and you're going to need good jack stands. Those are 6-ton jack stands, not the 3-ton jack stands. You're going to need a lot of tools, and you're going to need an air compressor. And where's it at? You're going to need a cutoff tool, wherever that's at. And you're going to need the air compressor, because an electric one, I haven't seen. Oh, there it is. I haven't seen an electric operated cutoff tool that's small enough. So this is my air operated tool. And I had to cut off all the bolts. There's 4 of them. I had to cut them all off. And and I happen to have this real big bad grinder. This is a 15 amp grinder. This is what I cleaned up my flange with. You're gonna want to make sure you clean up your exhaust manifold flange before you put that new converter on. You're gonna need an extension cord, a good light if you're working at night, power strip. I got the battery charger hooked up to the battery because I've got the doors open. I've got the radio going, so I wanted to make sure my battery didn't die. As you can see, I've got a ton of tools. The exact size bolts, I mean, that's going to be up to you. If you use the ones that came with it, it's a 17 on the bolt head and it's a 15 on the nut. And if you use a smaller size, which is what I had, I don't know the size of the bolt, but the bolt head was a 14 millimeter. That's what size socket and wrench you're going to need. And there's plenty of room. You're going to want to jack this thing up as high as you can get it, and make sure you chalk the wheels on the back. And here it is right here. It's pretty sweet. There's where I cut the old one off. And what you're going to want to do before you start doing this is you're going to want to hose it all down with, I had acid and I had penetrating oil that I swapped back and forth for like a week before I even tackled this. And I did spray down this, even though you're going to cut off the bolts, I did spray this down just so that everything separating would just go off without a hitch. And it did. I had to put the air chisel on it, but I mean, I burped it like twice and it just fell right apart on me. So not a big deal. And then this right here, this is what you're going to want to hose down with the penetrating oil and the acid. And I did that for, like I said, a week every day, and this thing turned right out, no problem. And so there it is, easy peasy. The whole thing I think took me 2.5 hours, but the air compressor I had is a continuous duty. It's a Husky. You can see it over there. It's a Husky one. It's not super duper, but it is a continuous duty. But I did have to wait a little bit for the air pressure to build up every now and again to keep that wheel going on the cutoff wheel. And this fit perfect. I mean, it's got the exact angle you're going to need. Fits right over the old exhaust, and mine came perfect in a box, very well packaged in a box. Let's see, is there anything else I'm missing? I don't think so. I think that was it. So I'm just going to need the Sawzall. get the right size bolts, read the reviews for that exhaust piece, because the guys point out which exhaust you're gonna, or which exhaust bolts you're gonna need. So Sawzall cutoff wheel. Oh, and an impact. You're gonna want the you're gonna want an impact. You can do it by hand, but it's just much easier. Impact and an extension. And I've got swivel sockets. It was 14. And the one I had to put in backwards because of the manifold that don't fit. So I had to put the 17 on the bolt head and then put the what is it? 14 millimeter 9/16 on the back side. So yeah, I mean, it was enjoyable. It was pretty cool. I'm glad Amazon had it, and it was, come complete with everything you're gonna need. So best of luck to you.